Genghis Khan, a name that echoes through the annals of history, a name synonymous with power, conquest, and fear. The name alone struck fear into the hearts of men. His reputation preceded him, spreading terror long before his armies arrived. He was a Khan, a ruler of the Mongol people, a leader who united the nomadic tribes of the steppes into a formidable force. He was a warrior without equal. His prowess in battle was legendary, his tactics unmatched. From the steppes of Asia, he led his armies across the land. He conquered vast empires, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. He built the largest contiguous land empire in history, an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. Genghis Khan was known for his brutality. His campaigns were marked by ruthless efficiency and a willingness to use extreme measures. But he was also a brilliant strategist. His ability to outthink his enemies was as crucial to his success as his ability to outfight them. He used cunning and surprise to defeat his enemies. His strategies often involved unexpected maneuvers that caught his foes off guard. He adapted to new situations. Whether in the deserts of Central Asia or the forests of Eastern Europe, he found ways to turn the terrain to his advantage. He was always one step ahead. His foresight and planning ensured that his enemies were constantly on the back foot. His enemies learned to fear his clever mind as much as his sharp sword. They knew that facing him meant facing an unpredictable and deadly opponent. Genghis Khan's armies were renowned for their horsemanship and archery. These skills gave them a significant advantage in battle. They could move quickly and strike with deadly accuracy. Their speed and precision made them a formidable force on the battlefield. But Genghis Khan knew that brute force wasn't always enough. He understood that sometimes the mind was the greatest weapon of all. Sometimes he needed to use his mind to achieve victory. His intelligence and strategic thinking were key to his many successes, proving that true power lies in the ability to adapt and innovate. The Khwarazam Empire stood in the path of Genghis Khan's conquests. It was a formidable barrier to the Mongol expansion. It was a powerful empire, rich in culture and resources, with bustling cities and thriving trade routes. Its lands stretched across Persia and Central Asia, encompassing vast territories and diverse peoples. The Khwarazm Shah Ala ad-Din Muhammad II was a proud and arrogant ruler. He believed his empire was invincible. He underestimated the Mongol Khan, Genghis Khan, who was known for his strategic brilliance and relentless ambition. Genghis Khan sent envoys to the Shah, hoping to establish a peaceful relationship. He proposed trade and peace between their two empires, envisioning a mutually beneficial alliance. He saw no need for war, believing that cooperation could lead to prosperity for both empires. But the Shah refused his offer, dismissing the idea of peace with contempt. He insulted the Khan's envoys, treating them with disdain and disrespect. This was a grave mistake, one that would have dire consequences for the Khwarazm Empire. Genghis Khan did not tolerate such disrespect. He saw it as a personal affront and a challenge to his authority. The city of Nishapur stood defiant against the Mongol horde. Its walls were strong, and its defenders were determined to protect their home. It seemed like an impenetrable fortress, a symbol of the Shah's power and pride. But Genghis Khan had a plan. He always had a plan, meticulously crafted and executed with precision. He always had a plan, one that would bring even the mightiest of empires to their knees. Genghis Khan called for 1,000 cats. He also requested 10,000 swallows. This strange order puzzled his generals. They had seen many unusual tactics in their time, but this was beyond their understanding. What could the Khan want with such creatures? They wondered if he had lost his mind or if there was a hidden strategy behind this bizarre request. They were weapons of war, not furry companions. The generals were used to dealing with swords and arrows, not cats and birds. The people of Nishapur were equally confused. Rumors spread quickly through the city, and everyone speculated about the Khan's intentions. They had heard tales of the Mongols' brutality. The stories of their conquests were legendary, and fear gripped the hearts of the city's residents. But this request seemed bizarre, even for them. They couldn't fathom how cats and swallows could be part of a military strategy. Little did they know, this was all part of Genghis Khan's plan. He was a master strategist, always thinking several steps ahead. The Khan's spies had been busy. They had been gathering intelligence and observing the city's defenses for weeks. They had infiltrated the city. Disguised as merchants and travelers, they blended in seamlessly with the local population. They reported that the city walls were heavily guarded, the defenses were strong, and a direct assault would be nearly impossible. A direct assault would be costly. The Khan knew that many lives would be lost if they attacked head-on. Genghis Khan needed a way to create chaos. He needed a plan that would catch the city's defenders off guard. He needed to exploit the city's weaknesses. The Khan's mind raced as he devised a cunning strategy. His unusual request was the key. The cats and swallows would play a crucial role in his plan to bring the city to its knees. The cats and swallows were gathered. Then, Genghis Khan's soldiers did something truly terrifying. They tied flammable material to the animals' tails. They set them alight. The terrified creatures became living torches. The animals, engulfed in flames, instinctively ran for cover. They sought refuge anywhere they could find it, in houses, through the streets, and most importantly, towards the city gates. The people of Nishapur watched in horror. Their city was being overrun by flaming animals. Fires erupted throughout the city, the air filled with the smell of smoke and the screams of terrified citizens. The Khan's plan was working. Section 5. Panic in the streets. The city's defenses crumbled. The soldiers, distracted and demoralized by the chaos, abandoned their posts. The citizens, fearing for their lives, fled in terror. The once impenetrable city was now ripe for the taking. Genghis Khan's warriors, witnessing the panic from afar, seized the opportunity. They stormed the city gates, their swords thirsty for victory. The defenders, overwhelmed and outmaneuvered, stood little chance. The streets, once bustling with life, were now filled with fire, fear, and the clash of steel. The citizens, caught between the flames and the Mongol blades, had nowhere to escape. The city of Nishapur was falling. Section 6. The city falls. The Mongol army swept through the city like a raging fire. They showed no mercy. They slaughtered the defenders. They looted the city's riches. Nishapur, once a proud jewel of the Khwarazam Empire, was now a smoldering ruin. The Shah, hearing of the city's fall, was devastated. He had underestimated the Mongol Khan. He had paid the price for his arrogance. His empire was crumbling around him. The fall of Nishapur sent a clear message to the rest of the Khwarazam Empire. Resistance was futile. Genghis Khan was unstoppable. He was a force of nature. The use of cats and swallows was more than just a clever tactic. It was a psychological weapon. It sowed terror and confusion among the enemy. It broke their will to fight. It demonstrated Genghis Khan's understanding of the human mind. The people of Nishapur were accustomed to fighting men, not flaming animals. They were unprepared for such an unconventional attack. It shook their morale. It made them question their ability to defend their city. Genghis Khan understood that true victory came not just from physical strength, but also from mental dominance. He knew how to exploit his enemies' weaknesses. He knew how to turn their fears against them. Genghis Khan's conquest of the Khwarazam Empire cemented his legacy as a brilliant military leader. He was ruthless and ambitious, but he was also a cunning strategist. He used every tool at his disposal, even unconventional ones, to achieve his goals. The story of the cats and swallows became a legend. It illustrated the Khan's ability to think outside the box. It showed his willingness to use any means necessary to win. Genghis Khan's empire eventually stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. His conquest changed the course of history. He left an indelible mark on the world. Genghis Khan was more than just a conqueror. He was a shrewd ruler. He established a legal code. He promoted trade. He encouraged religious tolerance. He laid the foundations for a powerful and enduring empire. The Mongol Empire, under Genghis Khan's successors, flourished for centuries. It connected East and West. It facilitated cultural exchange. It left a lasting impact on the world. Genghis Khan's story is a reminder that history is complex. It is filled with both brutality and brilliance. It is a story of ambition, conquest, and the enduring power of human will. Genghis Khan was a complex figure. He was a ruthless warrior. He was a visionary leader. He was a product of his time. He was a shaper of history. His story continues to fascinate and inspire us today. We can learn from Genghis Khan's strategic genius. We can marvel at his ability to adapt and overcome challenges. We can also reflect on the human cost of his conquests. Genghis Khan's story is a reminder that history is not black and white. It is a tapestry woven from countless threads of ambition, conflict, innovation, and human endeavor.